By the time we move to RuPaul's Drag Race season 10 through 12, drag makeup has reached its final form. It isn't just glamour, it isn't just artistry, it is the point where drag makeup became influencer culture. If season 7 through 9 was the birth of drag makeup, then this era was pretty much where branding mattered most. These queens aren't just beating their faces, they are building businesses. They're launching makeup lines, they're becoming beauty ambassadors, and they're working with some of the biggest names in makeup. This is the era of Aquaria's editorial dominance, Plastique Tiara's goddess glam, and Crystal Method's avant-garde surrealism. Drag makeup from season 10 to 12 isn't just evolving, it's globalizing. So let's get into it. But before we do, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe this video, and let's get into the season 10 through 12 drag makeup evolution of RuPaul's Drag Race. Season 10 was the moment Drag Race truly collided with the modern beauty community. This makeup was sharp, the queens were polished, and the level of glam was, for a lack of better words, intimidating. Aquaria walked into the season 10 workroom and every single person knew who she was. Her makeup wasn't just good, it was architectural. The razor sharp graphic liner, the fire engine red lip, and almost mathematical symmetry. She had a signature, instantly recognizable mug, but she also wasn't afraid to go weird, wild, or outright ugly when the moment called for it. Everything about Aquaria's mug screamed perfection. She didn't just paint a face, she engineered one. Whether it was the runway or her face, every single time it was effortless, it was intentional, and it was perfect. She wasn't just painting for drag, she literally was inspiring a generation of drag artists. The precision, the consistency, the sheer effortlessness is so admirable. She absolutely set a new beauty standard of what drag makeup looks like on TV. Every single angle, every single HD, low D, I don't even know the other Ds, but she looked amazing. I mean, her makeup tutorials, her way of doing it, it was absolutely a signature. Now, if Aquaria was the editorial supermodel of season 10, then Asia O'Hara was absolutely the pageant perfection of season 10. Y'all know I love a bright highlight. And that's the thing that I love most about Asia's makeup. It wasn't just, you know, this muddy contour mixed with this bright highlight. It really did change her face. It looked like divine intervention, if I'm being honest. She had one of my favorite makeups of season 10. She knew how to paint for the runway, the camera, and absolutely the illusion. Her mug had intention behind every single stroke. Even when she may have faltered in the competition, her face card never declined. Asia's makeup was proof that classic drag doesn't need reinvention, it just needs a queen behind it to elevate it. She didn't just look polished, she looked expensive, and I know my sister, she spends the coins. One of the wildest things about season 10 is I think it was one of the first casts where literally majority, if not every single person walked in already knowing and understanding their makeup. There weren't many like, "Oh girl, what are you doing?" The cast knew their angles, their strengths, and what they wanted to portray to the audience. I mean, they had 9 seasons before them to kind of get the formula down. Season after season before this, you would find queens that really didn't understand the HD qualities and the blending and what looks good on camera. And I think that this is the first season where all of them, except maybe one, just had a fantastic strength, and it was makeup. Even the queens on the struggle bus, they weren't like lost. They were just trying to refine their makeup. Now, Dusty Ray Bottoms absolutely had a signature style. It just wasn't always adaptable. Her signature dotted makeup, you know, the little freckles and the graphic patterns, it was bold, risky, and honestly one of the most original choices on the season. But herein lies the problem. The dots became a crutch. Dusty leaned on them so hard that when she painted a face without them, suddenly her mug didn't have the structure it needed to stand on its own. And that's the reason why I'm putting her in the struggle bus. She had creativity for days, but not enough refinement to let that creativity pop. Season 10 was stacked with queens that painted like beauty gurus. Dusty's quirky, punky aesthetic, it just got overshadowed. Her makeup was in no means bad, it just wasn't at the level of evolution of makeup around her. It was such a dramatic switch in my opinion, because on season 10, everyone except maybe Dusty and maybe a couple of others didn't really have that like great makeup on TV. And then on season 11, it was literally hit or miss. Season 11 gave us many beauties, but Plastique Tiara was on her own wavelength. She didn't just paint a face, she painted a fantasy. Plastique walked into the workroom looking like the algorithm had birthed her. Soft glam, airbrushed, flawless skin, luscious lips, and the kind of highlight that looks like it's permanently set to the golden hour. Plastique wasn't just a drag queen, she was an influencer blueprint. The kind of queen who could drop a makeup video and have every viewer rewinding to catch the product list. Still to this day, this literally happens. Her mug was impossibly smooth. Now, I don't know if that was genetics or her application, but mama paints. She just paints very softly. The kind of face that people would ask, is this drag makeup or is it perfection? So I think what made Plastique so impactful, in my opinion, is obviously she is stunningly beautiful, but she took influence from everywhere. She took influence from YouTube, from makeup actual artists. She took Instagram, and she molded and created her own special recipe for it. Queens were looking at her and being like, I want to be her. Me, i.e. me, or to be Plastique. Okay, so I don't think that this queen gets enough recognition, at least from what I see, but let's talk about Ariel Versace. She is the Jersey doll queen that walked in looking like her own promo code. Ariel was the first queen in Drag Race history who truly felt like she's been raised by Instagram, and she embraced it. Her makeup was pure glam doll energy. She had a signature eye makeup, her mug was absolutely recognizable, the overdrawn lips, everything looked 3D printed. Ariel didn't just do her drag makeup, she did influencer cosplay. She embodied the aesthetic completely. Bright hair, bold lips, a mug that screamed face-tune fantasy. Except she didn't need the filter. She's one of those girls, I met her before, she is beautiful. Her technique for makeup is stunning. It's signature, it's stamped. Like, to me, she was one of the first queens whose drag felt like it was signature to the virtual world. She painted like every single look needed to survive a close-up, a screenshot, a meme, and honestly, I dare you, go back to season 11 and try to find a bad shot of her with intentionally great makeup. Obviously, if you're gonna find a bad screenshot of her with quick drag, a little bit different. Now, for all the influencer polish and soft glam makeup from season 11, let's be honest, like I said earlier, it was very hit or miss with the makeup. Plastique and Ariel aside, they were painting for those HD cameras, but there were a handful that just didn't know exactly what they were doing with the makeup brush. Some of these mugs were fighting for their lives, okay? And I'm going off of season 11. All of these videos is from season 11 in that capsule. Obviously, every single one of these queens have gotten so much better with their makeup. Now let's start with my good sis, Silky. Silky had charisma for days. She would out-talk, out-shout, and outshine any queen of the room. But baby, her makeup was often running behind schedule. Silky painted fast, and you could tell. Her contours sometimes looked rushed, her lines weren't always crisp, and the blending, the blending. I cannot get over that moment where she placed her lashes like center of her face, straight up. I was like, sister, what are you doing? I love my sister. Now, Scarlet Envy is gorgeous. She's naturally stunning. And she leaned on that beauty a little too hard. Her mug was sometimes like too soft for drag. And I don't think that she understood that she has soft features with masculine features. Scarlet's approach to makeup skewed towards vintage starlet, but in season 11's HD Battlefield, that meant some of her paint was weak and underpowered. A pretty mug, yes. A fully realized drag illusion, not always. Nina West. Oh, Nina. She took camp into her makeup as well. There was never really definition with her makeup, but a whole lot of cosmetics with no intention behind it. She painted like a theater queen crossing over into modern drag, and you could see the transition happening in real time. Season 11 was a tale of two worlds. Pretty gorgeous makeup and pretty fine makeup. Now, after the hit and miss of season 11, drag switched gears again for season 12. This was a season where makeup didn't fall neatly into glam or camp. Instead, makeup became personality. It became storytelling, if you will. We got queens who painted like beauty gurus, queens who painted like cartoon characters, queens who painted like Broadway leads, and queens, well, we're still trying to figure that out. Crystal Method was the wild card of season 12. The queen whose makeup made the judges confused 1 second and obsessed the next. Crystal didn't paint a traditional mug. She painted a fever dream of absurdity. Her signature rounded blush, overuse of glitter, clownish lips, and baby doll shapes, they weren't meant to be pretty. They were meant to be crystal. What made her so special is she wasn't copying drag trends, she was making them. Every week her face told a story. Some were soft, some were strange, but every single time it was beautiful to me. She showed drag makeup doesn't just have to be fishy or fierce. It shows that you can be one of a kind and still make an impact. Then we have to talk about my sister, Miss Rock'em Sakura, the human anime diva. Rock painted like she was trying to break the sound barrier with color. Pink blush up to the hairline, giant drawn-on eyes, lashes that could double as helicopter blades. Her makeup matched her energy, chaotic, joyful, and hyper stylized. What I hated most about this and how a lot of fans treated Rock was the fact that because she did such bold and crazy makeup, they automatically compared her to someone like Trixie Mattel or Kim Chi. But if you look at Rock's makeup, she has a signature style. It just happens to be bold and out there just like the other girls. And in the middle of all of that colorful chaos, we have Miss Jada Essence Hall, the essence of beauty. And when we say that, we're not lying. She is the winner of season 12, and the way that she painted, it's like she was descending a staircase from heaven herself. She's so freaking beautiful. Jada's mug was flawless. Smooth foundation, impossibly crisp liner, sculpted cheeks that looked carved from every angle. Her makeup was so consistent, so polished, and so undeniably glamorous that even when the world slipped into lockdown, her webcam era beauty still gagged us all. Season 12 just wasn't about the artsy queens. It also gave us an entire squadron of pretty girls. They were painting like they were auditioning for a makeup campaign. Sephora squad, if you will. Gigi Goode was the soft, glam it girl. Pastel lids, graphic liners, and clean lines. She painted with restraint, giving us that model minimalism with the drag detail. She wasn't afraid of her face. She really kind of just used what was there, but perfected it. Nikki Doll was literal French editorial. Everything looked like it belonged in a Paris magazine spread. Sharp, chic, high fashion mug at all times. Now Jan, she gave us theater kid glamour. Glitter, precision, highlight that refused to be subtle. A pop star in the making kind of face that always photographed beautifully. She had a signature eye shape, and if you rewatch season 12, you can absolutely see it. These queens weren't just pretty, they were polished. They had a signature mug that wasn't just copied off of some YouTube tutorial. But with every single season, we have some queen whose makeup journey is still in progress. And in season 12, that struggle bus had two front row passengers, Heidi in Closet and Aiden Zane.
Hate, hate, hate your hair and makeup today.
Heidi had charisma brighter than her highlight, but her makeup was fighting her. Harsh lines, mismatched undertones, contour that wasn't doing anything for her gorgeous face. Her mug absolutely improved over the season, but at some point it was a little too late. When you go in, you're not filming for very long, so there's only so much that you can really progress, especially with makeup. There's muscle memory. You know, your hand goes a certain way and you're learning shapes on the spot along with the stress of the competition. Now, Aiden Zane, meanwhile, had creativity but lacked drag exaggeration. Her makeup often read flat, a minimal shadow, barely their contour, and a softness that disappeared under studio lighting. Aiden looked like she painted for a bedroom webcam, and she is famously a bedroom queen, but bedroom queen and $1 million TV set are two different things. So when we look at season 10 through 12, what we're seeing is drag makeup becoming fully realized. Together, these seasons weren't just about looking good, it was about individuality, influence, and innovation. Well, you guys, I wanna know, comment below, are there any mugs from season 10 to 12 that are your favorite, standout, are fresh in your mind at all times? And let me know if I missed anyone. You know, I can't talk about every single diva. That would take a very, very, very long time. I am so sorry this video took a while to get out, but baby, don't worry. Because after this video, baby, we're going into the 13, 14, 15, and you know about the 14. I love you guys, I adore you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!